So how does a nice boy with a big old voice from Overton, Texas, get on the X Factor and wow Simon Cowell? Not easily done, but that's what our next guest did. Jason Brock, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's go right to it.
Yes.
I've seen it on YouTube. I think you got like 4 million hits. A lot of people saw it when it happened.
Yeah.
You were on the X Factor and you knocked their socks off.
I did do my best, and it did knock their socks off, thankfully, because I was like, I really wanted to make a difference, make a change in my life. I was like, I've always dreamed of being a star, being a recording artist and musician for a living, and I thought this would be a really good chance. And I knew I had a good chance because I've been singing for a lot live in the Bay Area and really building my confidence and getting better and better at it. And I'd been doing it actually semi-professionally. I was hosting and singing at Martuni's Piano Bar like every week and doing shows here and there and benefits. So people kind of knew who I was in San Francisco, but when I went on to X Factor, that was really a chance to change everything.
And where was the filming done?
The filming was done here in San Francisco for the auditions, and so they started at Cow Palace. And people who are really smart realize that on the footage it looks like two different places because they know there's not a BART station at Cow Palace. So if you watch carefully, it started at Cow Palace, but then it's also recorded at Oracle Arena. Yeah.
And so talk to me about that experience. What is that like? Is it one big cattle call? Are they nice to you? Is Simon really a jerk? Is Brittany really a flake? You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, the staff there is as nice as it could possibly be, considering that there are thousands of people waiting in line, and we were waiting all day for days, depending on how far you got. So I waited for days in line, and you know, it's hard. You're just waiting there out in the weather, and most people don't make it. But then, when I got the chance to be in front of the judges like Simon and Brittany, and they were so, well, okay, Simon was kind of not so nice, and he gave me awful looks, and but he was converted. Once I started singing, he was like, wow, okay, you can actually sing. You're not just crazy. Because
because your opening was a bit, you know, Baby Jane.
Yes, it was. It really made me look like I was totally like delusional.
Or your meds are off.
Exactly. So, and then Brittany, I love Brittany. I gave Brittany a special hello, and I told her like hello from my boyfriend in Japan, and we actually spoke a little Japanese, and I was surprised she did too. But I knew that she had a big fan base there, so. And the judge who mentored me, ended up mentoring me, was L.A. Reid, who co-founded LaFace Records, which got Tony Braxton, TLC, all these big artists going, and L.A. Reid got the career started like Usher, Pink, Rihanna. So to work with him was pretty awesome.
Now, when you look at the X Factor YouTube tape, which I did just this morning, there are 3 guys that are backstage, kind of like cheering you on.
Yeah.
Who are those guys?
They're all my lovers. No, not really. They're in a weird menage a four. Qua, thank you. No, they're all good friends of mine. And I would say they're probably my best friends because they actually showed up, unlike my other friends. But no, those are good people.
Yeah. So you get out there, you come off a little wacky, and you open your mouth and you start singing Billy Joel's A New York State of Mind, which as a former lounge lizard piano player, that's how I paid for college.
Yeah.
That's a rough song. It's not real melodic. It's, you know, it's kind of all over there. And that voice came out, and, you know, Simon and Brittany kind of looked like they lost their dancers.
Yes, they were pretty astonished when I started singing. And that song is just such a great song for me to really show my own style and take a song to places that people haven't heard it taken before. So that's, I think, the really refreshing thing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of soul in that song. I mean, you know, when you came up there, let's admit it. There's Brittany, there's Simon. The other judge's name escapes me. The one who
Demi.
said, yeah,
I love Demi.
And he's the one who said,
oh no, that's LA. Yeah, LA and
said
Demi.
that's the person that Jason, you're the sort of guy that songwriters write songs for.
That's
they were all
right,
blown away. But I think when you walked out on that stage, they said, who is this Nelly Queen?
Yeah, I think they
and
did.
so did the audience. and you did a real turnaround. I mean, did you feel kind of, of course, TV is edited to make things look great,
right,
and to build tension, but I got the sense watching that, because I didn't know where it was going, I said, God, this is gonna be a Susan Boyle moment. They're making fun of this little old lady. They're making fun of this gay kid. Did you feel the tension?
I didn't. When I was there, I actually felt really comfortable and like totally confident. But it's actually, I did have a little bit of fear, but I just didn't really focus on it. But when I walked out on stage, I felt very happy, and that kind of feeling like, oh my God, I was meant to be here. I'm in front of these very powerful people in the industry, and this is like my life here. This is a really huge moment. But yeah, I watched it later. I didn't notice so much when I was there, because you can't see the judges' faces that well from when you're recording.
Because of the lights?
Yeah, because of the lights, and there's a lot of distance too. They're there, but you can't see them closely. So when I saw it on TV later, I realized the faces that they were making. Mm-hmm. And the way it was edited, they took all the footage they had, and they did make me look kind of crazy at first and like really, really self-confident, which I am confident, but it looked really extreme.
Right.
So I even thought, wow, I look crazy. Mm-hmm. And when I watched it the first time, I thought, oh my God, are they going to make me look horrible?
Yeah.
But then it was like, I redeemed it at the end, so it had that power.
But have you ever sounded that good?
Mm-hmm.
Was that like a performance? I mean, did you know that was the performance you were going to give?
I did.
Because you saw the audience, they were like, wow, and two of the judges stood up. I think Simon tried. If you look at it, Simon looked like he was trying to get up, but he was like, I can't.
Yeah, it would be too much. Everyone got up except him, and he said some nice things after I performed. He said, like, well, I can tell that you really love music. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. You think he meant it?
I do. I think he meant it. But I also think he meant his comments later, in the later episodes, where he's like, you're just, I like you, but you're just too cabaret, and you're.
Do you think that's a code word for gay?
I kind of do. Looking back, I think maybe it is
too cabaret.
Yeah, I know. What does that mean? Like, I mean, you could have dressed me like just some other guy on the show.
Well, what was the other guy that became, so big out, not the X Factor, but Adam?
Adam Lambert.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard from him? Did he ever call you and say, "Hang in there, girl"?
No, Okay, first of all, Adam, if you're listening, why don't you call me? I don't understand. But no, he never really got in touch with me. Too bad.
But it sounds like you want him to.
I would have loved that. We were compared so much. Mm-hmm. Like, every interview I did was like...
And I don't recall reading anything about him saying anything about Jason Brock.
No, he didn't. But
so, is it possible that you're too cabaret even for... I mean, that would be... Wow.
Maybe I am too cabaret for him.
I think that should be the title of your next CD.
Too cabaret. I love it.
I just want a little... Here on 10%
really
said first.
That.
Okay, so you can use that.
I love it. I was also considering Glitter Explosion.
Yeah, well, the Glitter Explosion could be the second side B. But seriously, I mean, one of the things that comes out of that performance is I don't think you could have done that performance in 2002, sort of that 1992.
Yeah, good point. Actually, I guess I couldn't have been so like out there with myself, and they may not have included it even if I was, because they can edit whatever they want. Mm-hmm. They actually included statements when I said I was gay, or if I talked about my boyfriend. They included that on the show, and they didn't have to.
Right. So you don't feel that the producers were homophobic, or?
I don't. Mm-hmm. I think some of those comments seemed homophobic, like the cabaret thing. Maybe they didn't realize it, but. Actually, I know for a fact the producers are not homophobic because many of them are gay. I mean, many.
Wow, a producer in Hollywood, that's like, wow, shocking.
Right? And also, they let me get so far in the show, like they could have cut me out way earlier.
So, I'm sure people not only have compared you to Adam Lambert, but, the Susan Boyle moment, the moment of, wow, gosh, didn't know that voice was going to come out of that body.
Yeah.
Has Susan Boyle ever contacted you?
No, I was in the same building as her. She was recording Dancing with the Stars downstairs, and I was working on X Factor upstairs.
Wow.
We didn't get to meet, but we were in the same building.
Yeah, you should have.
I know. I suggested it, and they're like, well, we let Susan decide who she wants to meet.
Well, yeah, because part of it, the cat Pebbles makes all the decisions, right?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. So
definitely.
How did that change your life?
It changed my life
because
so much.
You didn't win. You got into the top 12.
Yeah, that's right. So it changed my life because now people recognize me. Like I walk down the street and people know who I am, and they are like, "Oh my God, weren't you on X Factor?" Yeah, or whatever. And then people also like want to hire me for things as an entertainer a lot more, which is fabulous. Like all over the country, and just being on that show gives you a little leverage as an entertainer that you don't have without a TV show like that behind you.
Right.
So it gave me a lot of chances to work in entertainment and not to go back to my day job, which I was doing before.
So now you are a full-time entertainer.
That's right.
Wow, and you still have the Japanese boyfriend?
I do.
Wow,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So I mean, so he lives in Japan?
He lives in Japan.
So is he like a star too?
He's not. He's actually the opposite of a star. He stays in his house mostly all day, and he studies because he's studying for a new job. And he has a very systematic, methodical kind of life.
So opposites attract.
Exactly.
So you're crazy and he's not.
Yeah, totally. He can be stable and I'll be unstable.
Now, is there a CD in the works?
I was working on a single, it didn't work out. So now I'm about to meet with my management this week. And we're going to talk about how we're going to get my next single out.
Yeah, 2 Cabaret. Or what was the other? Glitter
Explosion. I think either of those things would work, or maybe grabbing Mario's butt.
Mario
Lopez.
I kind of get it. I mean, how does he maintain that?
I don't know, but he really does. And he just took his clothes off recently for some run he did. I was like, wow.
And I was like, wow, I don't think there's any plastic surgery in there at all.
I don't know.
In our last few seconds, besides the CD, X Factor, Mario's butt, you've got a show coming on here in the city.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. It's Martuni's Piano Bar. The show is called X in the City. X as an X Factor, and I'll also talk a little bit about X's.
I got it. But also, and also, you've got a show that you're doing at the Boxcar.
Yes. When this airs, I think it'll be over. I'm only in it for 2 weeks. I'm doing Hedwig.
So if this is over by the time it airs, you could have seen you in
Yes,
Hedwig.
could have seen me in Hedwig.
Well, we hope we'll have you back on the show. Good luck.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with Jason Brock. Next up, we're going to meet the lovely people behind the success of Dogs for Seniors, Muttville.